So our remote leadership model, what we refer to as the 3-gear model, is really designed to just help us be mindful about our approach to leadership. And it starts with the biggest gear, which essentially says, as rule number 1 of the long distance leader, is that we need to think leadership first and location second. What does that mean?
Well, I think what that means is, way more is the same about leading remotely than is different. And so the biggest gear is leadership and management, which means that much of what we've been doing forever doesn't go away. We got to keep that stuff in place. So leading a team remotely, leading at a distance, doesn't mean that we start with a clean slate and start over. We're still leading people. And so it's the nuance that changes, and the other 2 gears start to get at some of that nuance.
The way I like to think about it is the what we do: coaching, delegation, setting performance expectations. What we do as leaders and managers hasn't really changed, as Kevin said. It's in the second, somewhat smaller gear, which is how we do it. And we're doing it mediated by and kind of dictated by technology, which is not always our natural way of communicating. And for some people, that makes it considerably more complex.
Well, and even for folks younger who they are calling the digital natives, that doesn't mean that it still comes naturally. And we got to figure out how we're going to make that work. As we talked about in one of the other videos, is being really explicitly clear about how we're going to use that technology and what it's going to look like and how it's going to be most successful for us.
Well, and so we've got this management piece, right?
Yep.
Which it's not like we were brilliant and doing a fabulous job to start with. Now we're doing it in ways that we've never done it before, using tools that we're unfamiliar with. And there's the 3rd gear, which looks insignificant and isn't, which is how well are we using those tools at our disposal? And statistically,
not very well.
The answer is not very well.
Not
if
very well.
80% of people are using 20% of the features of a tool like Skype for Business or Slack or whatever it is, we've got a job that's really hard, that's been complicated by the way we're asked to do it. And oh, by the way, we're not leveraging the tools and technology at our disposal. It's no wonder that leading remotely feels so much more complicated. So that's the intent of the model, is just to put that front and center and be a reminder to leaders.